Welcome to another episode of Cooper's Cogitations. And we have been discussing, the issue we have been discussing is this. Why did these Christian founders rebel against their Christian king and their Christian parliament when Paul says be subject to the powers that be? In reading the Declaration of Independence, they list 29 specifications, but they also list why. The king and the parliament violated the laws of nature, which is natural law, and the laws of nature's God, which is the Bible. So the king himself was revolting against God. The founders were merely living in accordance with God's direction. And the natural law, as we examined and discussed, we as Latter-day Saints would call the light of Christ. They didn't have that terminology back then. We discussed the natural law. We discussed Exodus and the importance of Exodus and leaving slavery. We likened Exodus, slavery of Egyptians, to our slavery today. We'll examine that in greater detail. And we went to Sinai, where the first elected representative government in the world that I have found was created at the admonition and behest of God. God gave us that representative government at Sinai. King Mosiah and his priests consulted the brass plates and gave the Nephites a similar, if not identical, representative government. Our founders are reading the Bible and came up with the same representative government. 3 representative governments, all given to people by God, allowing them to govern themselves, to have control of their life, their liberty, and the right to own and control their property. We just touched upon the idea that we have abandoned our heritage. We have abandoned God's program for self-government. We don't even read his document. We have such disdain for our inheritance. We spit on it, we defecate it, we fight it. You don't own anything, folks. You don't even own your children. So we've fallen a long way, but we're going to look at the biblical law, hopefully, in a little more detail. We also touched on Plymouth and why Plymouth was so important and how they used the Bible as the foundation, these Mayflower pilgrims, of their government and their dealings with the Indians, particularly Massasoit and the Wampanoags. So here we go. The universal conscience, which is bestowed upon all men, which we learn about with the natural law, with Cicero, Locke, Blackstone, Jefferson, and others, is all things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, even so do so to them. For this is the law and the prophets. Now, the Peace of Augsburg in September of 1555 says that the leader of the nation, the ruler of the nation, the king, gets to decide the religion of the people. That's understood. It needs to be, it needed to be illuminated, and it is. Rushdoony, in his masterful Institutes of Biblical Law, says this: all law is religious in nature. The rulers give us our laws. Since the rulers give us our laws, the religion of the ruler is what is codified in the law. Or if it violates the laws of nature, nature's God, the rules and regulations by which they govern. We discussed that in detail in previous episodes. Okay, now we go down to this wall of separation. They say there is a wall of separation between church and state. The Pilgrims did it in the Mayflower by writing the Mayflower Compact, which separated religion from civil government. At Sinai, in Exodus chapter 18, Moses gave the people a civil representative government, and in 20, God began to give them their ecclesiastical government. Just because you have a religion, and that is the laws, does not mean you have to have that the only religion in your country. There were many Christian sects in America when we were founded. The basic principles of all these sects is illuminated for us in the 5,000-year leap by Cleon Skousen. I'm not going to identify all of them. I'll touch on some of them. There is one God. We are judged by that one God based on our actions and activities, behavior towards other people. We have to treat everyone as we ourselves want to be treated. And those are just three of the principles. You can go to his book and he will illuminate them for you. Everyone embraces that. Every Christian religion should embrace that. Let me say it like this. Other religions don't. Other religions will cut off your hands, or they will do an honor killing on you, or they will take your property and make you a slave if you're not of their religion. Or if you convert to another religion, they will kill you. So other religions don't have this, but guess what? America was founded by Christians. That was our belief system. That's the laws they developed. Elsewhere, what we say in Doctrine and Covenants 134, verse 9, we do not believe it just to mingle religious influence with civil government, whereby one religious society is fostered and another proscribed in its spiritual privilege, individual rights of its members as citizens denied. We believe that all religious societies have a right to deal with their members for disorderly conduct, according to the rules and regulations of such societies, provided that such dealings be for fellowship and good standing. But we do not believe that any religious society has authority to try men on the right of property or life, or to take from them this world's goods, or to put them in jeopardy of either life or limb, or to inflict any physical punishment upon them. They can only excommunicate them from society and withdraw their fellowship. Look at this, folks. If that's the way it is, then our government, our present government in America, has abandoned these religious principles and have embraced pagan religions, where they come in and they take our property, they take our children, they take our beings, they take our income. They censor us on social media. They terminate us. They put us in jail for a year and more, like in January 6th, without charges or a trial. And of course, never forget, Nicolas Cage did a movie, I think it's called Face Off, talked about secret prisons here in America. We have them, folks. We have them. All right, that's enough for this episode. We'll pick up more the next time we get together. Thank you.